Yeah, I'm wasting even more time. But I thought I just wanted to let you guys know what I plan on doing right now. I set up a little bit of ambiance. Crap. One of my band-aids came off. Set up a little bit of ambiance. Burning a candle, an apple blossom candle for Nanny, because I just felt that was what she wanted. I'm just burning this candle down just to burn it down, because it was given to me already nearly dead. So I'm just finished burning. Got my God and Goddess candles burning, and I've decided that because she needs a new paint job anyway, I was going to paint her to resemble more of Hecate, and then I would have my statue. Everything is, you can't really see, but it's coming together. That's because it's all, so the Hecate, all of her flesh shrine, it's all black, and over here I got orange to recreate to be, and it's my favorite one. Okay, now get back on the point here. You see this thing? Vision board. That's for my career and future. I have more window space right here, right below my spider thing. There we go. I have room, so I got this cardboard from when I bought, you know, those cardboard inserts you get in the calendars. Yeah, I got this. I think it's just the perfect size for a vision board for my personal craft. Came with my 2013 calendar. Owl. Because I love owls. You can't really see because, well, the ambiance. I have just enough light from over there to do the work. I don't have any candles over there lit because 4 of them are decorative. Yeah, I've been lazy. I didn't burn my red candle and tea lights. But I'm already a devotee of Hecate. I just haven't done the Rite of Devotee written by Sarita to join the covenant of Hecate. I haven't done that. So I haven't formally joined the covenant of Hecate. I don't believe I need to do Sarita's wonderfully written work to follow the goddess that has chosen me, because she chose me a long time ago. I've always worked with the dark goddess, and I just call her the Dark Mother, and as I got to know her, that's when I found out who she was. I missed my affirmation. It was the Hecate's affirmation. I missed it. It got ruined in the flood back in September. You know, but the flood was a blessing for me anyway. You know, I wouldn't have been able to have the opportunities afforded to me that I have now if it weren't for the flood. I truly believe Hecate sent that to me, to help me. I feel bad for those who lost things, but they were able to get brand new, the ones who deserved it anyway. Because they're, like my mother, for instance, didn't lose a dang thing in the flood. She had the second floor. The only thing that got ruined in her building was the furnace. It only needed a part. So Mom applied for the FEMA money. The guy came out, and the guy felt bad, but you know, it's not Mom's property, so she couldn't get the furnace replaced for the landlord. But, you know, it was just the furnace that was ruined, and they just had to dry out the basement. Because, honestly, I will tell you this. My mom lives in Magickal. It's right at river level. And they're lucky that it only went up so far. Because it completely demolished Shikshini, which is like across the river from it. It demolished Shikshini. They lost the post office. They lost so many things, you know. But CVS down there, it's actually gotten better and bigger from when I remembered. You know, so they got that, you know, but they lost the bank, and you know, while Kobe didn't feel like, you know, putting anything there, and then everything switched over to Wells Fargo. So I don't know. And West Anacoke, where I lived, it was just bad, because Banco's had just gotten done remodeling. You know, Warhol, I don't. They were okay. I don't know what happened. With them too much, because that's where the Red Cross was set up. So I don't know. But my apartment had 6 feet of water in it. I think most of the water was soaked up by all the diapers I had stockpiled. I had like 10 packs in each size, because I was making sure that, you know, figured while my daughter is my friend in the custody of children, you know, that I don't have to buy diapers every month. And I was pregnant with her brother, my son Colin, at the time. You know, I don't have to buy diapers right now, so why don't I go and just stock up? That way, when the baby does come, we have plenty of diapers. And well, the flood hit, and I lost all those diapers. You know, I lost a lot in the flood. I still, you know, get a little upset, you know, with some of the things I've lost. Like, I've been remembering I had Elvira's Haunted Hills. It was autographed, but I can always get another one of those. You know, there's a lot of things, you know, that I can't replace. I can't replace my high school yearbook. I can, you know, there's just my nanny's record player and records, you know. And I just had gotten her couch, and, you know, it's not the material things, it's the memories. Especially because Nanny knew I would have taken care of all her things for the rest of my life, but that stuff was treasured because they were my grandmother's, because they were Nanny's. But Nanny also understood and understands, you know, things happen, and it was out of my control, and it happened for a reason, a good reason. You know, and it gave me a chance to start over and to start fresh. And yeah, it does bother me a little, but you know, it happens. You know, a lot of things survived. I have all the pictures because I had them up on poster boards. You know, the ones that were of my daughter that was on computer paper, they're ruined, but I have them on Facebook. I have them on my old phone. I just got to print them out again, and I'll get them on photo paper. You know, that I can replace because I had backup. But if I would have lost pictures of my grandmother, I can't take another picture of her. they're not going to exhume her body so I can take a picture of her. And I'm gonna tell you, I can't go to her gravesite. It twists my mind. It twists me up. I just feel twisted inside. I can't bring myself thinking my grandmother's body's in the ground. You know, I get all twisted up inside. When I'm away from her grave, I can feel her with me, and I'm okay. You know, there are times where I still miss her, but I can feel her. But I miss her physical being. You know, and I miss my uncle. I lost my uncle when I was pregnant with Drusilla to colon cancer. That's why Drusilla is Drusilla Danielle Capiz, because he was Danielle Capiz. And I lost Nanny when I was pregnant with Paladin. I was there the day she died. I didn't see her die, but I almost completely lost it, and I always knew that I would lose it. But if it wasn't for Jonathan, if it wasn't for me being a mother, I would have completely have just lost my mind. I used to be suicidal, very suicidal, and then I had life inside of me. I didn't do a lot of living. But I hid away from things. I always had like small apartments. There were only like few rooms, and it was like solitude. And I never really tried anything new, you know. I mostly just went to the library uptown. You know, I did a few things that were not so good. Then I had life inside me. I'm like, I'm responsible for no life. I need to wise up. Which is why I didn't stay with Drusilla's father. That's a whole different story altogether. Little thing about me and Jonathan, I met him before I got engaged to, I was with him before I got engaged to Drusilla's father. But I knew him longer. Well, I thought I knew him. I knew him longer than Jonathan. But you know, I'm just so glad that Jonathan was there for me, because I was a single mother. I had to be. Even if Brendan would have stayed around, I would have been a single mother, because he was no help. But all that aside, when I was pregnant with Drusilla, I got back together with Jonathan. And, you know, that's kind of how he is. He just had trouble staying away from me. I told him to stay away from me, and he couldn't do it. I'm glad he didn't. He's stubborn like that. Well, we did break up, and I don't remember why. I had just gotten my gallbladder taken out, and I was feeling frisky, and Jonathan came over. You know, Gisela was gone for the night. Jamie had her. And, yeah. You know, he fed Drusilla the next day when she came back. Oh, Oh, that's great. But we weren't together. He was just being a good friend. I mean, that's being more than a good friend, I think. It was above and beyond what a good friend does. Because he even helped me clean up the mess, because when she woke up, like the next day, because he kind of got stuck because his ride forgot to get him. Drusilla woke up in a puddle of diarrhea, and he was so helpful with that. He was so helpful, and I didn't know I was pregnant, because we've had a track record. That's all I'm gonna say, a track record, and you know, I moved from up the third floor apartment down to the first floor because I needed the 2-bedroom because of having the baby, because of having my Drusilla. Did heavy lifting, everything. Didn't even occur to me I was pregnant. I got together with somebody, and I know their name. There's no reason for me to tell you what their name was. And then I noticed my friend didn't come. A little red guard friend. And I was, okay, I'll give it a little, like a day or so, and it didn't show up. And I said, I messaged Jonathan, you need to get me a pregnancy test. He came over with the pregnancy test. Turns out I was pregnant. I didn't sleep next to him that night because I was still with the other person. I didn't know what to do. I told the other person, and you know, that didn't go over well. He stayed with me for a little while longer, then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Got back together with Jonathan. And I wouldn't change that for anything. I don't know what I would do without him. I love everything about that man. And I've been with a lot of people I've loved before, but I've never felt that love that I feel from him. And you know, he was there when he didn't have to be. And he doesn't have to be here now. And I'm going to tell you this. He never wanted children. And he took Drusilla as his own before he knew he had a son coming. And now he's a father of his own son. And he wants more. I want at least one more. We're waiting, of course, because I'm still healing. You know, on the inside, I'm still got things going on, and we got things going on with children and youth. You know, and we don't want to have our child in this state. We're trying to save money so that we can move out of state when I'm done with school. It might be a year or two, but we don't need to have another son right away. And I say son because I've always pictured myself with one girl and 2 boys, the girl being the oldest. So I have a feeling I'm going to have another boy. And I only want another boy. And I have a girl, it's good, you know, great. I just don't know if I'm going to name her. But I think I'm going to have another boy. Because that was always in my mind. And we had decided on a name already. And I said, because I had these names, you know, on the list when we were trying to figure out what to name Paladin. And I said, you know what? I'm getting my Azrael Pendragon. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Even Jamie said I should have named him Paladin Pendragon, not Paladin Shadow. But we were up all night trying to agree when it came to naming Drusilla, it was on me. I didn't care who didn't like it. My dad's side of the family doesn't really associate with me right now. Well, not my dad's side of the family. My dad and mom doesn't really associate with me too much right now. You know, I don't get invited to the holiday dinners because I didn't give her the Wojciechowicz last name. My mom wasn't too thrilled that I didn't give the baby my last name or Brendan's last name, but I said, he doesn't deserve that honor, and, you know, my last name's 13 letters. Ain't gonna happen. And since I was naming her after Uncle Danny anyway, you know, gave her Capiz, which my mom, you know, could accept. She wasn't as accepting as Aunt Franny. Me and Aunt Franny are having our, you know, problems since, you know, she thought she was getting in the car, and, you know, that was another thing, but, you know, they're just out of control. Yeah, she was there the night Drew was born, took pictures, and she took care of Drew while I was in the hospital with my infection and my incision. You know, I didn't get much cuddle time with my little cuddle bug, because first couple of days I had to go back into the hospital because of the infection and the incision, and then I had the gallbladder. I was sick all the time, and everybody else was watching her, and then she'll knew stepping in when she saw the diaper changing table and cracked the skull, which I know I screwed up. I screwed up real bad. It was my neglect for using that changing table. But I took her right to the hospital. They sent her home. I went to Geisinger. Sent her home. I went up there specifically because they had the trauma center. But they had their protocols, and she'd already fallen a previous. That's why children stepped in, because it happened the second time. First time, she just had a little cut on the inside of her lip. That's all. But me having my sciatica, and I was just out of control. I'm still out of control, you know? But every day I feel guilty. You know, it's deep down in, I try not to let my guilt get me down. You know, I told children, it's like, yeah, I got all these strengths, but I need to do more. As a mother, I need to do more. You know, and they're worried about me and my son bonding. I'm like, thinking in the back of my head, well, you took him from the hospital the day after he was born. Not much I can do with that, except work with what I got. And right now, tomorrow's supposed to be our visit. Well, actually, it is tomorrow, but it's 1:12 a.m. here in the good old state of Pennsylvania. We were supposed to have a visit today, but now they both have pneumonia. It's just out of control with this pneumonia, because Paladin and Drusilla, they've had it on and off. It's just out of control. They're both C-section babies, so they didn't get to push all the liquid out. You know, and I had problems with breathing when I was their age. So I said, Jamie, they are to stay home. Do not bring them out. I want them home in bed. That's where they need to be, home in bed. And I said, I'll work on things from my end, because you know, she's been praying and nobody's really, you know, because I think, you know, her God isn't really working with my children because he knows that that's my business. So I got this, you know, I'm okay with the Christian God, but I think the Christian God is a little bit different than the Jewish God, Yahweh. Don't stone me for that. Yahweh's just out of control. I believe that all the gods and goddesses exist. Whether people believe that they are, you know, like the same God, they're just by different names, that's okay. Each to its own. I think they all exist. I really do. I think there are similarities, but until they actually come out and say, hey, I'm the same God, I'm the same goddess, really not. Because if Hecate was anybody else besides Hecate, I think she would have told me. That's just me. But, let me see. I'm at 26 minutes. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get working on my magical vision board. And, see you guys in the next video.